All right, we're live. So, welcome to another episode of the Managing Partners Podcast. I'm joined today by Nick. Nick, so thanks so much for having us or being with us here today. We're excited to learn more about you and your firm and hope others can learn from that as well. So, thanks for coming on.
Thanks for having me, Kevin. I appreciate it.
Yeah, so, I always like just to start by maybe really a little bit about you personally. And then we'll get to some business related questions about your firm. So give us a minute or so about you personally, outside of work, where you live, things like that.
Absolutely. So I live in Marietta, Georgia, just right north of Atlanta. I've been here pretty much since high school. I graduated law school about 10 years ago, and I worked for an attorney in South Atlanta for almost 5 years. And when my son was born, I made the crazy decision that my wife was going to quit her job and I was going to quit mine, and I was going to start my own law firm. So we're about to hit our 5-year anniversary, and it's been incredible. And I just had a daughter in April during the pandemic. So I have a plague baby, as I call them. And it's great being a dad, and I love what I do. So.
That's awesome, man. Thank you. I have 2 small children myself, and I took the plunge a long time ago in 2006 to run my own business, and never looked back, and would never have it any other way. So it takes a lot to do that. So to have both of you do that, that's quite a.
I didn't expect her to support it. She just left her job, and I'd had a banner year at my previous law firm, and so. It didn't make any sense, but she could tell I wasn't happy.
I'm doing so great. Let's leave.
Yeah. She saw me dragging in every night at 6:37, 7:30 and going, oh, she's like, you look miserable. Yeah, I guess I am. And I've loved every minute of it since. It's been crazy, but this is
that's all. Well, you got to love what you do. So, and have fun doing it. So, excellent. So give us a little bit of background, more so, in your profession, your expertise, I guess. So give us a little bit about your firm and what you really got, what you specialize in, and then maybe kind of, the size of your firm and some of the other partners you may have.
Absolutely. So I don't have any partners. I do have 3 associates.
Okay.
So we're a personal injury litigation firm primarily. We're probably going to take the plunge into workers' comp very soon. But that's the only type of law that we do. We specialize in litigation. When I started the firm, literally 0 clients. And I basically went out and made relationships with people in my community, just cold emails. Hi, I'm a young attorney. I'd love to meet you. And so in a matter of 4.5 years, we've grown from literally just me with 0 clients, all the way to just shy of 500 clients. And we have a staff of 27. We just opened our 2nd location in Lawrenceville. It's Gwinnett County, so probably about 20 miles from our current office. And then we're opening a South location in May. So it's been really rapid, and we've really leaned into litigating for other firms. So it's either growing really close relationships with other attorneys, and then recently, probably in the last 1.5 years, we've done a bit more direct client marketing, things like that. But it's been a lot faster than I expected, and we're on trajectory to have somewhere between 60 and 70 employees by next year. So.
Wow, that's amazing. That's really cool. All right, so getting to that, you gave a little, hints in there about that, but I guess give us a little bit about. You got some growth going on. It seems pretty rapid there. What makes you different than your competitors? It sounds like you have some referral type of stuff going on, but as far as if I came to you, found you through marketing some way, what separates you guys, and what's kind of your message there?
So we focus heavily, and that's kind of what the firm is founded on, with working with other attorneys. And so there's kind of 2 basic people that we work with when it comes to firms. There's either guys who just don't do this type of law. They don't know how to handle a massive trucking case. They don't know how to handle an 8-figure medical malpractice case. And so they send it to me to kind of work with me. Or the complete flip, other way of looking at it would be somebody who's big, has established, they've got everything doing, they've been doing it for 30 years. And they're like, Nick, I don't have time for these types of cases. Or, yeah. And so it's either too small.
This $1 million case is not a big deal.
Exactly. They're like, man, you got that energy. You're only 35. Have fun. And that's really what the firm was founded on. I took the cases that people didn't want to take, or they didn't have time for, or there was a liability issue, or it was just not worth the time in their mind. And I just did that enough times where finally we made a little bit of money and I could hire some staff. So those are the kind of the two main ways that we handle cases. And then, now we're actually getting quite a bit of direct clients as well. But that's never been the client's focus. That just seems to happen with good work.
Hey, I mean, honestly, that's how I started my agency, going to other agencies or other companies and saying, hey, you got any stuff you'll give me? Because that you don't want, website work or anything like that. And just started to become a resource to them and doing stuff they just don't want to deal with. And now I turn down or refer work out all the time that we don't want or is not a fit for us. So it all goes around. That's cool.
Yeah. Stay hungry.
So what are your plans, which, seems like a far ways out? What's the next year, next 5 years, next 10 years? What do you see? What is your outlook? Do you have a vision, a plan? Or are you just kind of like?
It's funny because, I try to do that. I try to read the books and I try to listen to the coaches and I try to, what are this, yada, yada. And people ask me all the time, how many people, what are you going to hire? Where are you going this? I've applied for my Texas license. I expect to have that in the next couple months. So we are looking at Texas, opening a location there next year. Every time I set like a fee amount or amount of staff or things like that, we just always blow it out of the water. So I always feel dumb. Maybe I'm just too conservative. I'm really good money. So I'm really careful with things like that. But I told myself, I bought this building March of last year, our new headquarters, big, 1885 mansion, almost 6,000 square feet. I was like, we're going to be good for like 5 years. We're not going to need anything. We've already filled it up. So who knows? I've read trajectories that we're going to be at 200 employees in 5 years. I think that's probably not going to happen, but I've been wrong before. So it's really about expansion, not turning down work, fighting hard. We have kind of two sayings: when you need a fighter, call Schnyder, and that's really what we lean into. We really fight hard. We really press. We're trying cases that a lot of people don't want to try, and I think that's really important, especially in this economy. And then we don't ask, we tell. So it's about aggressive representation. I don't care what adjusters think. I don't care what insurance companies think. I care what juries think. And I think both of those have really led to an exceptional result for our clients over the last 5 years.
I love that. I really do. It's a good saying. If you're not growing, you're dying. Always be expanding. Never be contracting. That's. We agree with that one, and we follow that too. So we're always looking to grow. We're always looking to do more. We have some pretty good big goals ourselves. So I like that mentality, and just take it. We're going to take it. We're going to make it work, and we're going to keep growing.
Absolutely,
that's awesome.
Atrophy is death. So, I love every minute of it. People ask me all the time, "How do you do it? What's the trick?" There really isn't one. I really enjoy what I'm doing. I really love kicking insurance companies in the teeth. I love getting them every day and looking at my spreadsheets and talking to the clients. I had a client come in today and she hugged me and she got me a gift and we got a really exceptional result for her. And so, moments like that are few and far between, sadly, but when they happen, they're magical. So I love what I do. I get to my office the latest 7, usually about 6:30 every single day. Thanks to my kids who are usually kicking in my door by 4:30. So,
It's funny. I just put a poll on LinkedIn about what time do you get up, and I posted it this morning. I was at the gym at 5 o'clock this morning, and I posted it like 5:30. I was in between sets, and I was like, I'm gonna do a poll.
Yep.
So I did a poll: 4 a.m., 5 a.m., 6 a.m., 7 a.m., or after. As if anything after that's just unreasonable. But
I think most people disagree with you.
But it's it's got like 4,000 or 5,000 views in like 2 hours. It's like a ton of people responding. But I had some people say like 2 a.m., 3 a.m. I'm like, holy smokes! But
what?
Craziness. But they got it. There's no way you can operate like that. But I like to get up early and be ahead, and I'm excited to get up and work. And I think that's, if you're an entrepreneur, you like yourself, you love what you're doing, you just get up and you're ready to go. And or you work late or whatever it might be. Some people have different routines, but that's where it's at. You know, you don't know exactly what's going to go on that day, but you know you're going to go and keep on
I think it's important
moving.
to find people who have complementary schedules to you too. Not everybody's like that. You know, the vast majority of people I know wake up 8:39. I know a lot of people that do that, and whether it's even entrepreneurs, relatively successful people. And my senior associate, she's a night worker. You know, she sees me come in, she's like, "What are you doing?" You know, she doesn't really get the gears grinding until about 10. But I'm getting emails at 1 o'clock, 1:30 in the morning. So I'm waking up when she's clocking out. So it's about finding your rhythm. So I'm definitely not the type of guy who's like, "Oh, if you don't get up at 5, you're a failure." It just works for me. You know, I was up at 4:50 today and still grinding. So
that's good, man. Yeah, it's I think it's whatever works for you, right? And I had some people like responding like, "Hey, I don't get up early, and this is why," and all this stuff. And whatever works for you. I don't think it's and some people work they work till 2 in the morning or 3 in the morning, but the same thing I think is that if I get up really early, I get to get stuff done while my clients are sleeping or not working. And then if you work super late, you kind of have the same benefit. Everyone else is asleep or they're not working. And so you get that time to, get through stuff and not be distracted every 5 seconds. So
yeah, I have a useless time at night too. After a certain point, I'm just, I don't have I'm just not grinding anymore. It's time to chill out and, recharge. So
yeah, absolutely. I'm the same way. I got little kids too, which you got. How old? Yes.
My son just turned 5 2 weeks ago, and my daughter turns 1 on the 13th of next month. So.
Okay, cool. My son's 9; he'll be 10 in June, and my daughter is 7.
How was that? How do you like that?
A lot more fighting and picking on each other for sure.
I'm excited for them to be able to interact. She's still very small. She still hasn't, walked and things like that. So
yeah, it'll be fun. There's different stages. I got many more to go. I hope so. It's always something different. But
I enjoy every minute of this, but I'm excited for the next phase too.
When they're little, that's the best. I mean, but then I have other people that are like, wait till they have grandkids or kids, and then that's the best one.
Oh yeah, so, my parents are just enamored. They're sold for sure.
I'm like, slow it down. Let's wait till we get there. All right, we got a long way to go.
Absolutely,
I got a lot to accomplish before that happens. So, all right, so that's kind of your outlook. So, what? And I know you work with other firms, and you said you are doing some stuff outbound right now. I took a look at your website. I saw some of your social media that's happening. I know I chatted back and forth with Amanda, who actually asked a question a second ago. We'll get to you in a second here, Amanda. But what have you found when you started or since you started versus now that has worked well for either attracting clients or making those partnerships with law firms? What kind of marketing or strategies that have you used that have just worked well for you? And then I guess, how do you see that changing as you maybe open in new markets or as you grow and you want to attract, customers that are searching for your service?
That's definitely a point of apprehension for me, because the way that I founded the firm, like I told you, is about relationship building. I made close relationships with a few doctors and a few lawyers, and I went to networking events and I met people. And so it really was a personal thing. It was a one-on-one, Nick, you do good work type of thing. And slowly it just snowballed. People heard about my reputation, and they would refer me to other attorneys who knew one another, and it really built that way. And so the last year and a half, we've still kept that up. It's a huge part of what I do. You mentioned Amanda. She was the person when I couldn't do it alone anymore. She took over and started doing some of it as well. But we started doing, Google click ads and, working with marketing companies and doing digital ads and things like that. So there's only so long you can just build relationships. At a certain point, I think it's incredibly important. I think it's the best way to start a business when you don't have $250,000, $500,000, $1 million to throw at ads. I think it's an incredible way to start of any type of business, no matter what you're doing, whether you're selling pizzas and you get to know the people in the area or things like that. But I think it's always a good place for a foundation, is that building a relationship with the community, building relationships with other community leaders. It adds up, and people care. And when it comes down to it, people work with who they like. And, when I first started doing this, I was like, I'm such a good lawyer and I know how to do this. I'm not afraid of courts. And they're like, nice to meet you, Nick. And I never heard from them again because they're bored out of their mind, and nobody wants to hear a commercial. And so now when I take people to lunch, it's 2 minutes of what I do and 58 minutes of who I am as a person. And, when it comes down to it, relationships make people come back.
100%. I mean, as I started, I'm actually from a little bit of a northern or an island off Virginia, which there is an island off Virginia. It's really small, called Chincoteague Island. But I moved to this area, which is a little more a metropolitan area, Virginia Beach, Virginia. Didn't really know anybody. So, and I started my business kind of not too long after that. But I didn't have anybody. I didn't know anyone at all. So I had to build up a network and go meet people. And so it took me a while, but my network is super important to me. And it took years and years to build up, and it's authentic and it's real. Now, of course, my company now is at the size where I couldn't rely on my network to generate, the clients we need. We have sales teams and we do marketing, we do advertising, all that stuff. So it's a little bit more out of my control, but the network and my relationships with people continues to produce, and I continue to build on it. My business partner is the same way. And so while those things, we get referrals. I get referrals all the time, and I still go meet with people, and that's a huge part of our business. It's just that at some point you get to the point where that's not the only way you can get business. So you have to go with things.
Those days you had one good case and you're set for a little while.
Well, it's also kind of scary, right? Because you got clients coming into your business from different sources, and you got sales. I got sales folks anyway, sales team. We got ads, and so it's a little bit more out of my control, and I don't get to see everything that's happening versus where I used to be like, I'm involved in everything and making sure we're represented properly, and understanding every deal that comes through. Now I'm not even part of half the sales deals that go down. So
we hired 5 people in the last month, and somebody walked up to me. They had suggested someone, and they're like, "Hey, did you hire what's her name?" And I was like, "I'll be honest with you, I don't know. I can ask my." Just like,
that's funny.
Yeah, I'll meet them when they start.
Well, I'll have a lot of people that say, "Hey, I saw you were hiring for this on like Facebook or LinkedIn," because there's not really a Kevin Daisy and a Ray Digital, or like, my business is my life, and there's not really. So I post stuff on my personal pages just like I would on LinkedIn. And a lot of people say, "Hey, I saw you were hiring for this position. Like, I would like to interview for that." And I'm always like, "Great. You can go here and submit, just like, I'm your friend, or I know you, but submit just like everyone else, because we have a whole process, and I'm not involved at all until the last step. And you have to go through the steps and go through everyone else before they come to me and say, "Hey, this person's a good fit."
Oh yeah,
which is good. It sucks when you're like, you are the only one, and they say, "Hey, I want a job," and you're like, "Oh, now I got to say no."
You're just
now I can just say, "Hey,
nice. You're just too cool." We never get any work done. That was my favorite excuse.
That's always been my problem. Too nice to people sometimes, and I get to move away from some of that stuff now with processes and some other folks in place to make sure I'm not too nice.
Yeah, I mean, that's a really good excuse. Just tell people, "Oh, I like you too much." We'd never get any work done. They're like, "Oh yeah, you're right."
That's a good one.
Yeah,
I know that one. So, I guess anything else that you want to share and about your firm? Anything exciting? Anything on the horizon? Something you'd like to,
So
tell everybody.
We're leaning more heavily into the, the fighting, theme. So check out our new ads. You'll see me in boxing gloves and things like that. It's a lot of fun. I'm also starting to do shoots with other attorneys. So people that I work closely with who are in either different types of fields or just have a specific interest or something they can add to it. People enjoy talking to me, but at a certain point, it's nice to have other people involved. So there'll be a bunch of videos we'll be putting out soon that bring in other attorneys who have different perspectives and how it clicks with me as well. So try not to just be the focus all the time, but just rise and grind, and hopefully we'll be all over the place soon.
That's really cool. I love it. Mix it up, do things different. Do videos with other attorneys or whatever. I love it. I know for me, obviously you get referrals and that's how you do it. But I know me and my business partner, we have coffee meetings with our direct competitors. We talk to them. We reach out to them when they don't even know why we would do that. Hey man, let's chat and talk and learn from each other too.
Absolutely. So, You're one of my favorite sayings I learned in law school. I had a literal genius professor. She was about 4'11", short blonde hair. She was terrifying. And she called me one day and she said, "Nick, answer this question." And I was ready. I was so, finally I'm ready. And I spent 10 minutes answering the question and I finished. She goes, "Nick, you knew just enough to get it wrong." And I was like, And so I try, to always stay humble and understand that you can know just enough to get it wrong. So
that's a good point. Good lesson there, everyone. If you heard that from Nick right now. So, well, cool. So, Amanda asked a question. She said, "Nick, how often do you litigate cases?"
Yeah, it's our specialty. And I'd say most firms, at least personal injury, stick at about 30% cases that they litigate. We are close to about a little over 60% at this stage. So, and I'm sure COVID played a huge part in that. With the courts being closed and things like that, we've just hit a standstill. So we're definitely at a higher percentage, but it never slowed me down. We tripled our staff during 2020. So we don't hesitate to litigate, and we're in court all the time. And I'm overjoyed to get back into a courtroom. So we litigate a lot.
Well, here's a question from me real quick. During COVID, of course, which we're very familiar with. How do things change there rapidly? How do you guys adjust? And then have you been able to do, of course, been open for quite a while virtually? I don't know with Georgia specifically. Yeah. I know in Virginia, we're pretty much back open. So
Georgia's relatively open. They opened vaccines to everybody last week. So, and I'm fully vaccinated. So I'm excited to get the courts rolling again. But luckily we were very digital. When COVID struck, it was funny because I bought the building in March of last year. Our state closed for 45 days. So that was terrifying. I literally went from this small office to this giant office. I'm just sitting alone. Everyone's at home. I was like, I've ruined my life.
So, what did I do?
Yeah, I was like, oh. But in the long run, it was the right decision. But yeah, so we're largely digital. We can sign clients up digitally. We can resolve cases digitally. It's very rare that we actually have to have someone in. We like to have people in. I prefer depositions in person. I prefer trials in person and things like that. But we are equipped to handle anything digitally. So, we went from signing, 7 clients a day sometimes to in COVID, we signed 1 in a month. So that was terrifying. So definitely had an effect. But we were ready. We were prepared. Everyone worked from home. We didn't fire anyone. We didn't cut anybody's wages. Everyone kept benefits. If somebody was going to bear the burden of a pandemic, it was going to be the firm and not my employees. So
love it.
And now that the state's opening again and we're getting court notices and things like that, I just have to push myself back and calm down so I don't say anything weird to the juries. Like, I missed your faces. They're like, ugh.
Too much.
I know, reel it back just a little bit, Nick.
That's funny. Yeah, I mean, I'm happy to say that. Yeah, we didn't lay anyone off. We didn't cut anyone's pay, full benefits, everything. So we didn't ever entertain that, or never got to the point where we had to. We had quite a few clients that were, pretty much ready for it and not in a bad spot. So we're happy to see pretty much our clients anyway, and us, we pulled through just fine. We're very digital. And I have employees probably in 4 or 5 other states that are in the States, but all in the United States, of course. But we've been doing virtual video calls and stuff for 3-4 years, so on a daily basis. So for us, it wasn't a big impact there. We do have an office, which we stopped going to for a while. And we're just back to where we're starting to visit the office now. So,
yeah, we're at full capacity the 5th of April, oddly enough. So
that's my birthday.
Yeah, get your butt back in. So that's how we're celebrating.
That's awesome. Yeah, cool. Well, I guess if there's anything else you want to add, we can do that. But if not, we'll wrap it up. And
thank you for having me, Kevin. Truly.
Yes, sir. So anyone listening, watching, check out Nick's website. I posted it. They have a lot of cool stuff going on. Their marketing looks really good. Their social media looks tight. So if you want similar type of stuff like that, think about us, arraylaw.com. That's what we do. We do just marketing for law firms. So we help them look good, get leads, get cases. That's what we do. So until next time, we'll see you guys later.
Thanks, Kevin. Have a great one. Enjoy your birthday.
Thank you.